Hi, it's AJ, and welcome VIP member. And this is a surprise bonus training just for you, my VIP member. I'm so excited that you are a VIP member. I'm excited that you are in the VIP program because you're special. You know, people who join this program are special because you want more. You want more than just a few more vocabulary words, for example, or to pass some test. You know, you have a deeper reason, a more powerful purpose or reason to learn English. You want to speak confidently, not just know some words. You want to speak confidently, powerfully. And you want to use that speaking ability to be successful in your life, to get a better job maybe, or to grow your business, or maybe to meet people in other countries and connect with them and have friends in many countries and see other parts of the world. Or maybe learn things that you find in English, because of course, English is now the global, the international language of science and economics and business. So you realize this, you know that there are important reasons to speak English confidently. And you want that success in your life. That makes you special. A lot of people learning English, they don't think about the bigger reason. They're just trying to pass some test. But they're not thinking of the bigger goal, the bigger reason for learning English, for their personal success. And then, because you are a VIP member, you also want something even more than personal success. You want to be a leader. Now, maybe you want to be a leader in your family or for your family. Maybe you want to be a leader at your job, in your business. Or maybe you have other areas in your life where you want to be a leader. And you can be a global leader because with English, the international language right now, you can be a global leader. You can be a leader for people in all different parts of the world. And of course, again, when I say the word leader, remember, I don't mean boss. I don't like that. That's the old way. When I say leader, I mean you are helping other people be more happy, be more positive, be more successful, be more confident. You're sharing your personal success. So, thank you for being a VIP member. You are special, so I'm going to give you everything I can and to give you some special bonus trainings just like today. And this is the first one, our first special bonus training for the VIP program. And this one is called Power Conversation, Power Questions. Today I will teach you how to have powerful English conversations, and it's so easy. You can speak powerfully and confidently using this really easy method. This is a very easy conversation technique. You don't need to speak English perfectly. In fact, using this technique, you don't need to speak well even, because this is such a simple technique, yet it's very powerful. Using this technique, you will have very powerful English conversations. So let's start. Okay. Now, the first thing I want to talk about, and this is so true. I learned this from Dale Carnegie. The key to great conversation is great listening. And of course, this is kind of connected to our idea of how to learn English well, right? We use a listening method. But here's the great thing. Even when you talk to people, in fact, even in your native language, the key to great conversation is not great speaking. It's great listening. When you are a great listener, other people think that you are a great speaker. It's amazing. And I do this a lot. Just by being a great listener, people think oh, wow, I had a great conversation with AJ. And yet, mostly I just listened. So this is powerful. So as English learners, I know so many of you, you focus all the time on speaking, speaking, speaking. How can I speak better? How can I speak better? And yet, just by being better listeners, more skillful listeners, everybody else will think you're a better speaker. Try it. Don't just believe me. Try everything I teach you today. I think you will see that it's very powerful. So let's continue. You don't need to speak perfectly. So true. So true. You do not need to speak perfectly. Again, so many English learners think, oh my God, I've got to speak perfectly. I have to speak exactly like AJ. It's not true. You don't need to do that. You can be a great speaker, a great leader, a very successful person without being perfect. Perfection is impossible anyway, so don't worry about it. So, what's the secret then? You don't need to speak perfectly. In fact, you don't even need to speak well, to be totally honest. But this you must do. You must take a genuine and sincere interest in other people. This is the big master secret for great conversation in any language. This is true in your language too, but we'll talk about English today. Be genuinely and sincerely interested in the other person. Man, this is so powerful. When other people feel that you are interested in them, that you care about them, wow, they care about you so much more. Suddenly you are more interesting to them. So if there's one huge secret, it's this. Be genuinely interested in other people. Instead of focusing on yourself, what can I say? How can I communicate my idea? Instead, ask yourself, how can I learn more about this person? And be really interested, be really curious about the other person you are talking to. Just that attitude is so important and very powerful. So, you can help them feel more confident, more excited, and more positive. This should be your goal during a conversation. So instead, again, most people think about themselves. They think, oh, how can I be more confident? How can I sound more intelligent? How can I communicate my idea better or my feeling better? Instead, try this. Ask yourself, how can I help them feel more confident? How can I help them feel more excited? How can I help them feel more positive? Again, this is about attitude. We're starting just with attitude. By doing this, you can be a leader during all of your conversations. I mean, that's what leaders do. They help other people feel better, feel stronger, be more successful. In every conversation you have with your friends, with your family, at work, anywhere, with a stranger you meet on the bus, you can be a leader in every conversation just by helping the other person feel more confident, more excited, and more positive. This is the key to leadership. Leadership is not only about being some big boss or of a big company or a group. It's about helping other people. So you can be a leader in every moment, in every conversation. How do you do this? This is the technique now. So first, I just told you the attitude. Next, we're going to be specific about the technique. How exactly do you be a leader in every conversation? And the technique, the secret is power questions. Questions are so powerful. And when you ask good questions, you become a leader. So you're going to ask power questions during every conversation with strangers, with friends, with family, at work, everywhere, all the time. Okay, so this is the technique. This is how you lead people. And again, lead is not control. When I say lead, I mean help them feel better and be more successful. How do we do it? We ask power questions. What are power questions? Power questions are an amazing leadership tool. When you use these questions that I will teach you, man, it can change your whole life. So this is powerful. It's simple, it's easy to use, but it's so powerful. Okay, now here's why we do it. When you show interest in other people, when you ask them questions, other people become interested in you. I mean, this is kind of a basic law of human beings, of humanity. When you show interest, when you care about other people, they care more about you. That's why we ask questions. Here's another great thing. Power questions are easy. They're easy. These questions I teach you, anybody can use them. You don't need advanced English level. You don't need perfect pronunciation. You don't need perfect grammar. You can use these conversations anytime you have an English conversation and your level is not important. And here's the great thing. Even if you have a low level, even if your pronunciation is not good, you can still have great, fantastic English conversations simply by asking these easy questions. You don't have to talk and talk and talk. A lot of learners, they worry about talking and, oh my God, my pronunciation's bad and it's difficult for me to remember the correct vocabulary. You don't need to. Just remember these questions and this attitude, and you will have fantastic conversations in English. So, let's do it. How do we do it? Step by step, let me teach you. Step 1, I want you to ask these power questions all the time. Every time you have an English conversation, ask these questions to the other person. You can do this on the forums. You can write these questions on the general members forums and on the VIP social site also. So all the time. Every time you communicate in English, ask these power questions to the other person. Here's the first one, and they're all similar. Step 1, these are the first set of questions. Here's one example. You're talking to someone, you just meet them. Hi, I'm AJ, how are you? Then you say, so, what are you doing that's exciting? What are you doing that is exciting? It's a great question, such a great question. What are you doing? You're changing their focus, right? Because in normal conversations, hi, how are you? Oh, I'm fine. And then you start talking, blah, blah, blah. Most people talk about stupid stuff, right? About the weather, about their job, or about negative things. They complain about politics. They complain about some situation in their life or about their job or about another person. And it can quickly become very boring or very negative or just kind of stupid. Talking about TV shows or something, right? So when you ask this question, you totally change the focus of the other person and you become a leader. You change the focus of the conversation to something exciting. What are you doing that's exciting? Ask this question. And here's another question similar. What are you doing that's interesting? You could ask both of these questions or just one of them. Some combination. It doesn't matter. Just use one of these questions at least. What are you doing that's exciting? Or what are you doing that's interesting? So, what are you doing that's interesting? Again, you're changing their focus to something exciting, interesting, and positive. If you want to use casual English, if you're talking to a native speaker, you could say, so, what are you doing that's cool? Cool means excited, interesting, fun, amazing, incredible. Cool has all of that feeling. So if you want to use casual English, you can say, so what are you doing that's cool, that's really cool right now? Again, wow, this is so powerful. It's simple, right? Anyone can ask this question. The English is very easy. What are you doing that's cool? What are you doing that's exciting or interesting? People like to talk about this topic, right? If you ask me this topic, oh man, I get excited. I will talk about effortless English. I will talk about traveling to Asia. I mean, I can talk and talk and talk about this topic. Most people can, right? Why? Because you're asking them about something that's interesting, exciting, and cool to them. They love to talk about this. So let them talk. Let them talk and talk and talk about, oh, I'm doing this and this and this. Maybe about their job, maybe in their family, maybe a vacation. It doesn't matter. What are you doing that's interesting? What are you doing that's exciting? What are you doing that's cool? Let them talk. Now, eventually, they might stop talking. And, listen carefully. Look at them. Be excited. But eventually, maybe they stop talking, or, they start to complain, or something, this topic becomes weak. So next, you want to ask some more power questions. Step 2, the next questions. Say, so, how are you doing that exactly? Right, so first you said, what are you doing? That's interesting. That's cool. They tell you what they're doing. I'm doing this, this, and this. Next, get more details, more specific. Say, well, how are you doing that exactly? If they say, I'm going to travel to Italy, you can say, well, how are you doing that exactly? When are you going? Where are you flying to? How are you saving the money for your trip? How will you travel? First class or backpacking, very cheap, right? Ask more details. Step 2 is about details. Ask them, how are you doing that? Exactly. What are you doing exactly? When exactly? Get the details about it. Again, they will love to talk about this because they're exciting. To them, this is exciting. So again, here you can say, get the details. Exactly. What are they doing? Get the details. This is so powerful. Again, you're just asking a few more simple questions. When are you doing that? How exactly? This is simple. And they will talk more and you get more information about what they're doing, when exactly, how they're doing it. And then after they tell you that, step 3, probably the most powerful. Ask why. Why? This is so powerful. So first they tell you what they're doing that's interesting and cool and exciting. Next, they tell you exactly how they're doing it. All the details. What and when and how. And then finally, the power question, the really deep question. You ask them why. So, why do you like doing that? Or, so, why are you doing that? Or, why do you want to do that? Simple question, but so powerful. When you get to the why, you really learn more about this person. You learn a lot about them. And you're showing a deep interest in them. And they will become very excited and passionate, usually, when you ask them why. People love to talk about this. All right, so, and let me back up 1 second. So, again, we got this 3-step. What are you doing that's cool and interesting? How are you doing that exactly? The details. And finally, why? Let me give you an example. If you ask me this question, you say, AJ, what are you doing that's cool? Maybe I'd say, well, I'm planning my trip to Asia. And I'm going to travel to Southeast Asia, Thailand, Malaysia, Vietnam. And then I'm going to Korea and Japan. Oh, this is so exciting. I love it. And this will get me excited. I love to talk about this. And then maybe you say, well, AJ, how exactly are you doing that? I mean, that's a big trip. I mean, how are you going to do it? And then I talk more. Well, I'm going to leave at the middle of December, and I have an internet business, and I can continue working and making money while I travel. And, I'm going to fly first to Japan to see my wife. Then I'm going to Thailand, and I tell you all the details. And you ask me, when are you going? How are you doing that? And then finally you say, why? AJ, why are you going there? And I say, oh, because this is part of my business. I will do some workshops. I will do seminars. Plus, I love Asia. I lived in Asia in the past. I loved the culture and the food and the people. And I talk and I talk and I talk and I talk. I mean, it's easy. I will talk a lot about this topic. I'm passionate about this topic. So, most people will be. Some people may be more shy than me. But if you ask them these questions, keep asking them. They will open up. They will talk more and more because they're excited about it. It's exciting to them. It's interesting to them. And finally, the next step, if you really want to make them excited, you ask about the future, step 4. So they told you what they're doing now or what they're doing soon. Next, the final power question topic, you say, well, what do you want to do next? Say, oh, wow, you're doing this cool thing. And I know how you're doing it. I know the details. And I know why you're doing it. That's great. What do you want to do after that? What do you want to do next? Why are you asking this question? What's this question about? This question is about dreams. You're asking about their dream. What is your big dream? What is your goal? Right? What do you want in the future? Another powerful, powerful question. Here's another future question you can ask. What would you really love to do in the future? Really love to do in the future. Use those words, really love. What would you really love to do in the future? Again, what are you doing? You're trying to find their dreams, right? What do they love? What do they really, really want? What are they super excited about? What is their dream or dreams? So, that's it. 4 steps. Let me review again. Step 1 is, what are you doing now that's cool or interesting or exciting? Step 2, get the details. How are you doing that exactly? When are you doing that? How did you do that? Get the details. Step 2. Step 3, ask about why, the reasons. Why are you doing that? Or why will you do that? Or why did you do that? Get the reasons. Very powerful. Finally, step 4, go to the future about their dreams. What would you really love to do in the future? That's it, the 4-step process. Why is this so powerful? Well, here are the reasons. This is why this technique, when you use this technique in every conversation you have, it's so powerful. Why is it powerful? Well, number 1, you learn a lot about the other person. In a normal conversation, maybe with a new person, a stranger, often you don't learn very much, right? They talk about the weather, they talk about TV, they talk about their job, and maybe they're complaining a little bit. You learn something, but you don't learn much that's deep. It's all kind of surface. But when you ask these questions, you go deep very quickly. You're talking about people's passions and their dreams. That's powerful. So you learn more about them. You connect more quickly with the other person. Number 2, super important, part 3 of our code. You show the other person that you care about them. I mean, when you ask these questions, what are you communicating? without saying it, you are showing that you care about them. You are interested in them. That is so powerful. When you care about other people, they care about you more. So you show the other person that you really care about them. You're interested in them. Number 3, you lead them. When you use this technique, these questions, you become a leader. You lead them to focus on something exciting and interesting to them. Right? You don't let them talk about boring stuff. You don't let them talk about negative stuff, because immediately at the beginning of the conversation, you change the focus. You are a leader. You lead them to positive topics, exciting topics, to talk about their dreams, to talk about their success, to talk about what they love and are excited about. That's leadership. Very powerful. Number 4, you help them feel more confident and more excited. Just imagine you talked to someone. You use this technique. Maybe in the beginning they're tired. Maybe in the beginning they're sad. Maybe they are having a bad day. But when you ask these questions, all of these questions, again and again and again, they will usually feel better and better. At the end of the conversation with you, they will feel more confident, more happy, more excited, more positive. I mean, you're helping them feel better. That's leadership, right? It's helping other people be more happy, more confident, more excited. Using this method, you do this. It's very powerful. Okay, next. Sorry about that. I lost my connection. Here we go. Number 5. Why do this? Why do we use this? They will care more about you. I said this a few times already, right? But it's so important. It's so true. If you want other people to care about you, to respect you, then show them that you care about them. Right? I mean, this is how I built my business. By trying to help my students, to show them I cared. Right? Like when I was teaching in school in San Francisco, I would go to my class, and my classes became bigger and bigger and more popular. Super big, and sometimes people would come from other classes, and they came to my class instead. Why? Well, because they knew I cared. I was not just doing my job, reading from the textbook, getting my money, my paycheck. I cared. I wanted them to succeed. I showed them that I cared. And because I cared, they cared more about me. They liked me more. They respected me more. It's the same. This is true in every country, everywhere in the world. Show other people you care, they care more about you. Number 6. They will connect feelings of confidence and excitement to you. What does that mean? It means when they talk to you, because you ask these questions, they feel better. They feel more confident. They feel more excited. And they will, in their brain, there will be a connection. These positive feelings and you, they will go together in their mind, in their brain. So when they see you again, they naturally feel more confident, more positive, more excited. These emotions are connected to you, linked to you. And if you do this again and again, maybe with a friend or family, eventually, every time they see you, they will feel a little bit better. Also, they will know when they are with you that it's okay to talk about positive topics. It's okay to feel excited. So that's powerful. That's also leadership. All right, number 7. This is so incredible. It's so true. when you ask these questions and just listen, 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 they will think that you are a great speaker. Even if you don't speak very much. I mean, you're not really speaking very much. You're asking a few of these power questions, and then you're listening. You're looking and you're listening, asking a few power questions, listening more. Really, you are not talking very much. Yet, people will leave the conversation and they will think, oh, you are a great speaker. That was a great conversation. And I have seen this many times in my life. When I have used this kind of technique, people think that I'm so great at communicating, and yet, actually, I didn't talk very much. So it's quite surprising. This will work for you with your English. Even if you think your English is not good, if you use these questions, use this method, people will think you speak better. I promise you. Just try it. Don't trust me. Try this. You will see. Okay. Now here's a problem. Because sometimes you will ask a question. You'll say, what are you doing that's interesting? And sometimes the other person will not answer. I don't know, nothing. Right? As we know, some people are very negative. Or maybe they're having a very bad day. Or they're having a bad mood. Or they're tired. And they don't want to think about that. So when you ask this question first, maybe, I don't know. So what should you do? Well, ask them again, first of all. Don't ask just one time. You can say, that's why I gave you 3 versions, right? So first you might say, what are you doing that's exciting? And they say, I don't know, nothing. Well, ask the next question. Oh, okay, well, what are you doing that's interesting? It's basically the same question, right? You changed one word, but it makes them think again. You're changing their focus. So this time they might answer you. Or maybe they say, interesting, I don't know, nothing really. So then ask the third question. Oh, okay, well, what are you doing that's cool? Right? So you ask it 3 times, 3 different ways. You're giving them 3 chances to answer. You're trying to change their focus to something more positive. But maybe after 3 times still they say nothing, 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 my job sucks, my life sucks, nothing, 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 blah, blah, blah. What do you do next? Well, immediately then, after you try that, if right now their life is bad, they don't want to talk about right now, nothing good now, then just jump to the future, jump to step 4 and say, okay, well, nothing now. Sounds like right now, not so good. So you can say, well, what would you really love to do in the future? So if someone's life is terrible now, or if their attitude, their mind, their mood is terrible now, get them to focus on the future. Because the future's open, right? So we can always find something in the future positive. We can imagine it. So ask them, what would you really love to do in the future? And then they might say, I don't know. You can say, so, what would you really like to do in the future? Just change the question a little bit. And then ask them again, what would you really like to do in the future? Well, I don't know. Maybe get a better job. Oh, really? What kind of job? So then next you jump to details, right? So you go back to step 2 again. So you see what see the method? If they just say no, no, no to step 1, then you go to the future instead. Ask them about the future. Ask them different ways until they give you a positive answer. And when they finally give you a positive answer, even a small positive answer, immediately ask about the details next. So maybe they say, I don't know, maybe I would like a better job. Great, that's a little positive. So you can then ask about details. Oh, really? Well, what kind of job would you like that would be better? Okay, they're going to get more positive now. Well, I don't know, something with more money. Oh, great, how much money would you really love to make? See, again, details, details. What kind of job would it be? Right? And then you get the more details, details, details. And then you can ask again, why? Why do you want that kind of job? Why do you want more money? See what I mean? It's very powerful. You can still use this with a negative person. Sometimes it takes more work, but you can do it. Okay, now finally, there's one last step. So you have the 4 steps, right? You ask them, what are you doing that's cool or interesting? Next, you ask about the details. How are you doing that exactly? When are you doing it? Etc. Details. Step 3, you ask why. Why are you doing that? Why do you want to do that? Why do you enjoy that? Why? And step 4, you ask about the future. Well, that's interesting. What would you really love to do next or in the future? So that's the 4-step power question process. Now you can finish this process. You can finish this conversation with one final step if you want to. And the final step is sincere compliments. That word sincere is very important. It means real and honest. Right? If you just say something nice to someone, but you don't feel it, it's not true for you, that's not sincere and it's not powerful, and people will think you're some kind of jerk or something because they'll feel it. They think you're just being, not honest. So it must be true and sincere. You must feel it. You must see it. So here are some examples of sincere compliments. They told you everything, right? All the 4 questions. So here's one example. At the end, you can say, well, that's really interesting because, and then tell them the reason. Tell them why you think it's interesting. What they're doing or why they're doing it or what they want to do. Anything they told you, tell them that it's interesting to you and tell them why it's interesting. That's really interesting because, here's another one. You can compliment them directly as a person. For example, maybe someone says, I want to get a better job so I can help my family more. It's nice. So you can say, wow, you are obviously a caring person because you want to help your family. See, you say you are obviously a blank person, some kind of person, a generous person, an interesting person, a creative person, an intelligent person, a fun person. Whatever it is, be honest. It should be real. And then tell them why you think they are. Because you are trying to help your family. Because you want to do this exciting, amazing thing, and it sounds great. So you tell them, compliment them personally, and then tell them the reason. Another example of an easy compliment. I think that's great because, then tell them the reason. I think that's great. You are going to Italy because you will learn so much, and it shows that you really love adventure and you love learning. It doesn't matter. The reason, just make it true. The reason doesn't need to be perfect. You don't need to say it perfectly. Just be honest. Give them a real compliment. So again, compliments. This is so important. Compliments must always be sincere. It means they must always be true. Don't say something if you don't really mean it. Don't say something if you don't feel it yourself. If you don't think it's interesting, don't say, that's interesting. Okay? It's got to be sincere. And if you can't think of anything, if they told you all this stuff and you just think, that's terrible, just don't say anything. Okay? Just say, oh, thank you. And the other thing about compliments, they must be specific. That's why I add because. Because. You can say, wow, you are an interesting person. Wow, you are a caring person. That's okay. That's sincere. That's great. But you should also be specific. Tell them exactly why you think that. Tell them the exact reason. Be specific. It's much more powerful. They will feel it more when you are sincere and specific. Okay, so this is the end of the bonus surprise VIP training for power questions and power conversations. But at the end here, I'm going to give you some homework. Now look, you are a VIP. You're special. And you know that just listening to this information is not enough. Right? You must take action. You must do something. When you learn something, you should immediately take action and use what you learned. That's how it becomes powerful and real. That's how you improve in your life. That's how you become more confident, more successful. You must do it. You must use it. It's not enough just to know it. You got to do it. So here's your homework. I want you to do this. Here's your homework. Are you ready? Write this down. I'll go slowly. Homework part 1. Ask these power questions on the general member forums. The general member forums. I'm not talking about the VIP. You can ask them on the VIP social site too. Sure, that's great. Let's use these questions with each other. You can ask me these questions on the forums. I love to talk about this topic. Everybody loves to talk about these questions. I mean, of course you do. If I ask these questions to you, I'm sure you would love to tell me what you are doing that's fun and exciting and interesting, and how you're doing it and why you're doing it and what you want to do next. I mean, these are fun things to talk about. So let's use them with each other on the VIP site. But remember, we are the leaders of the Effortless English Club. So your homework, part 1, ask these questions on the general member forums. You could ask new members. We have the topic, new members, right? So unfortunately, most new members, they don't write very much. You know, they say, "Hi, I'm John from, or I'm Juan from Mexico. I'm happy to be here on the forums." That's all. They just tell you their name, right? So we don't know anything about them. So let's ask them power questions. What if you see that and you reply, you say, "Juan, nice to meet you. What are you doing that's interesting? What are you doing that's exciting? Or what are you doing that's cool?" Maybe don't say cool. Some of our members are new. They might not understand the word cool. So use the word exciting or interesting. Ask the question. See what happens. Maybe they will reply. Maybe they won't. That's okay. Ask somebody else the same question on the forum. Next, part 2 of your homework. Oh, this is the general members forums, by the way. EffortlessEnglishForums.com. EffortlessEnglishForums.com. Okay, part 2 of your homework. Check back on the forums. And when they reply, ask a follow-up question. It means ask another question after they reply. So first you ask them, step 1, what are you doing that's interesting? What are you doing that's exciting or fun? Whatever you want to ask. They answer, maybe some of them, maybe just one sentence. Some of them, maybe they say, "I'm not doing anything." So what are you going to do? You'll ask them again, "Well, what are you doing that's a little interesting?" Okay? What are you excited about? You keep asking until they give you a positive answer. Even a little positive is okay. Then next is step 2, your reply. They reply. Well, don't stop there. Ask them the next questions, right? Ask the details. So step 2, after they reply, say, "How are you doing that exactly? When are you doing it? How are you doing it? You know, was it difficult? Was it easy? You know, whatever." Ask about the details in your next reply. Ask them, how exactly? You could also ask the why question. Why are you doing that? Why are you excited about that? Or your follow-up question, your next question could be, "That's great. What do you want to do in the future? What do you really want to do in the future? What would you really love to do in the future? It doesn't matter. Your homework, just number 1, ask a power question. What are you doing that's great or interesting? Wait, let them reply. After they reply, ask one more question about the details, about why, or about the future. That's step 2. Finally, step 3, wait for them to reply, and then give them a sincere compliment. Be specific, remember, and sincere. So first you ask them, what are they doing that's great or interesting? You wait, they reply. Next you ask another question about the details, or about why, or about the future. You wait, they give you another answer. And finally, you give them a sincere compliment. You say, wow, you are such an interesting person because, or you are really intelligent because, or you are a really nice person because, and you give them a sincere compliment. Remember, sincere and specific with all your compliments. Okay, finally, step 4 of your homework is to repeat all of this in your personal or business life. So, of course, in your family or with your friends, maybe you use your own language. And in your job, you might use your own language. But you can still ask these same questions in your own language. So, first, I want you to do this on the member forums in English. Ask these questions, wait for the reply, ask a question, wait for the reply, give a compliment. After you do that, next, do this at home in your personal life. With your own language is fine. Okay, so thank you very much. That's the end of this surprise bonus VIP training. I hope you enjoyed it. This is very powerful. It's so simple, right? These are not difficult questions. Right? You can learn these questions very, very easily. You can use them very easily. And if you do, you will find your conversations become so much more powerful. You will become a better leader. People will respect you more. People will care about you more. People will listen to you more. People will understand you better, and you will be a more powerful leader in general. You will have more success in your life. All of these things. Use this with strangers, with people you don't know, when you meet them the first time. Use this at your job. Use this with your friends. Use this with your family. And please, I hope, use this with each other, VIP members, right? Let's use this with each other. So get on the VIP site, ask these questions to your VIP friends. Get on the general member forums and be a leader in our club by asking these questions to our new members or to our general members. Okay? And I will try to also ask these questions more to you on the VIP site and on the general forums too, and in my life. So I promise I will do this homework too. Okay? We're all doing this together. So thank you so much. You rock. You are fantastic. Of course, you know that phrase, you rock. It's slang. It means you are great. You are fantastic. So, you rock. You. You're fantastic. You are special because you joined this program. Thank you so much. I look forward to teaching you more. I look forward to learning with you because I'm learning from you also. When I go to the VIP site, I also learn from you. You are also leading me and helping me. We're all helping each other. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful, great day. I will see you again. Bye-bye.